Do you sometimes feel like ChatGPT is kind of basic, that it gives you generic or vanilla answers that feels a little bit like, well, ChatGPT or AI generated, and you wish it could give you more specific answers that sounds more like you, right? Or that is more tailored to whatever project you are doing, but you keep getting these basic answers. Well, if that is happening to you, that's probably because you're not using custom instructions. So in this video, I'm going to teach you everything I know about custom instructions and show you a set of instructions you can use to make ChatGPT sound exactly how you want it to sound. Hey, what's up everyone? Ronnie here. Welcome back to our AI channel. We continue our ChatGPT series. Today we talk about custom instructions and how to make ChatGPT really sound like you want it to sound, okay? So let's jump right in and discover where we can find these features. All right, so we are here in my free ChatGPT account. In order to set the custom instructions, and by all means, everyone has access to custom instructions. It's a feature available to all. Head over your profile picture, click on that, and find Customize ChatGPT. So click here. If this is the first time you use custom instructions, meaning you're part of this majority of ChatGPT users who are not using the tool to its full potential, you will be greeted by this message introducing custom instructions. So custom instructions allow you to customize your interactions with ChatGPT by providing specific details and guidelines for your chats. Okay, so that's cool. I'm gonna go ahead and click OK, and then you will land on this window right here. Should be empty if this is your first time. And this is where you will start filling up the information in order to customize how ChatGPT behaves when you are interacting with it. So for some of you who wonder, what the heck is this? Well, custom instructions are basically you giving ChatGPT a brief about how you want it to speak, answer your question, behave in certain situations, use specific word or not use other specific words or grammar kind of formulas that you don't want it to use. Me, for example, I've been noticing that ChatGPT uses a lot of hyphens recently. And I really don't like that, because when it does, then it's automatically giving you away that you have written your email or your whatever with ChatGPT, because who else uses hyphens these days? And now every single answer I get from ChatGPT has a hyphen, so I hate that. So custom instructions will allow you to give specific instructions to ChatGPT so that it behaves in a specific way. All right, so that's exactly what they do. And the goal is to have a more tailored version of ChatGPT, a version that feels less basic, less vanilla, less generic, and gives you more tailored answers to whatever project you're trying to do. So let's give it a spin. The first thing you need to fill up here is your name or whatever you want ChatGPT to call you. Usually, I like it to call it by my name, so Ron or Ronnie. But for the sake of this example, I can have a bit of fun and ask it to call me Ron GPT. The next question is, what do you do? So tell it a little bit about your job or your activity at the moment. So me, I'm just going to answer, I'm a YouTuber creating educational content. Okay, I'm a YouTuber creating educational content. And now this next window right here, what traits should ChatGPT have? This one is probably the most important one. This is where you are going to give ChatGPT these specific guidelines on how you want it to answer. So you have some little bubbles right here, keywords that you could use if you're not inspired, if you don't know exactly how to craft your custom instructions. So let's try them first, okay? So you could choose anything from chatty, witty, straight shooting. I like witty, straight shooting, definitely. Skeptical, no. Traditional, forward thinking. Yeah, I like that. So use quick and clever humor when appropriate. Tell it like it is. Don't sugarcoat responses. Take a forward thinking view. Use short and simple sentences that an international audience would understand. Okay, so that sounds good. Use quick and clever humor when appropriate. Tell it like like it is. Don't sugarcoat responses. Take a forward-thinking view. Use short and simple sentences that an international audience would understand. And then you have a last field right here. Anything else ChatGPT should know about you? Yes, I absolutely hate hyphens. And then I show what hyphens look like. Never use hyphens in your responses. So these are my custom instructions for this specific chat, but also for the coming chats after this one. Make sure you enable these custom instructions right here. Make sure this little switch is toggled on, enabled for new chats. And if you click on the advanced button right here, you have access to all the capabilities of ChatGPT. So the ones that you want ChatGPT to have enabled by default. So web search, DALL-E, code, canvas, or advanced voice mode. Once this is good to go, just save them. And now you can test them with a simple prompt. So for example, I could ask, explain what ChatGPT custom instructions are. Okay, so let's see how much it respects my guidelines. So there you go. ChatGPT custom instructions lets you tweak how ChatGPT responds to you. Think of it like giving your AI assistant a personality test and a job brief at the same time. So there are two main parts. What would you like ChatGPT to know about you to provide better responses? So this is where you tell it things like your name, interest, goals, or the tone you prefer, like casual, formal, spicy, etc. I don't know what a spicy tone is all about. And two, how would you like ChatGPT to respond? Here you say stuff like keep it short, don't use emoji, explain things like I'm 5. Basically, you're setting the vibe. Why use it? Because default ChatGPT is like plain toast. It's fine, but it gets better when you add your flavor. I really love this metaphor. Custom instructions let you skip repeating yourself every time and make responses feel more like you. Want your AI to be a sarcastic teacher, a kind cheerleader, or a blunt realist? This is how you make it happen. Okay, so I think this pretty much respected the custom instructions I gave it. I do see a hyphen though. It really cannot avoid placing them everywhere. But apart from this, this is pretty spot on. Okay, so this is pretty much how you use custom instructions. Let me give you a few tips to really get the most out of them. And then I'm going to share 2 or 3 different sets of instructions for different contexts, different use cases that you might find useful. All right, my first tip is to be very clear and specific. If you give it vague instructions in that box, like be helpful, because it won't understand what you mean by being helpful. Like, what is your goal? What is your approach? What are you trying to achieve? All of this needs to be as clear or precise as possible so that ChatGPT doesn't have any room for interpretation, basically. That's tip number 1. Tip number 2 is that you can combine different sets of instructions. You can ask it to be direct but friendly, to avoid fluff, and to use real-world examples. All of this at the same time. So you can build your custom instructions with different blocks you want ChatGPT to adopt. And then tip number 3, and this is where it gets really powerful, is that you can try different profiles depending on what projects you are doing or what goal you're trying to achieve. Okay, so here I ask it to speak in a way that would resonate with the people who are following what I do. Okay, I told it I was an educational YouTuber, so it answered in a kind of an educational kind of way. That's why it gave me a metaphor, and that's also why it simplified the concept but tried to explain it in a way a teacher would. Okay, but you could try something very different. Like you could have a few different sets of custom instructions for a few different tasks that you run on a daily basis with ChatGPT. And that is exactly what I want to show you before wrapping up this tutorial, to show you different sets of custom instructions that would apply to different situations in your daily work. My first use case is how I want ChatGPT to talk to me, right? Ronnie. So obviously, it would be different for everyone here, but this is a set of guidelines that I like to use when ChatGPT talks to me, okay? So let's review them. And you will see I have written these instructions in 2 different prompts right here. The first part, okay, what do you do, will need to come right here in that window that says, what do you do? And then the second part, what traits should ChatGPT have, comes in that second window right here. You can give it the name that you like. It doesn't really matter. All right, so I'm just going to copy this and paste it in the what do you do. I am a content entrepreneur who values clarity, speed, and a bit of personality. All right. And then the traits, talk to me like we are brainstorming. Be direct, clear, and sharp. Use short sentences, no rambling. Add a little wit where it makes sense. Never use hyphens. Break things into lists if it helps me act fast. Avoid repeating disclaimers or playing it safe. Just get to the point. Be useful and sound human. Okay. So now this sounds like a good set of instructions for how I want it to talk to me. Anything else ChatGPT should know about you? Let's just leave it like so. Make sure you save it. Okay, there you go, saved. I'm going to start a new chat and I want to try these instructions with this prompt right here. Pretend you are my creative partner and brainstorm 3 ways to explain ChatGPT's custom instruction in a YouTube video. All right, so let's try it. All right, so here's the answer. Oh, there is a hyphen. I cannot believe that. Absolutely. Here are 3 sharp angles to frame ChatGPT's custom instructions in a YouTube video. Make ChatGPT your digital clone. Hook, ChatGPT is smart, but is it you smart? Okay. Angle, so show how custom instructions let viewers teach ChatGPT to talk like them. Okay, so this pretty much respects the brief I gave it to be straightforward, to the point, use a list when it makes sense. You see the list here. No fluff. What else was in there? Never use a hyphen. So okay, this one is clearly a miss. Break things into a list if it helps. Okay, just get to the point, be useful and sound human. The rest is okay. And it's pretty informational. The second idea it gave me, you are using ChatGPT wrong until you do this. So it gives me kind of a title and a concept for my videos and a hook. If you're typing the same prompt every time, you are wasting time. Angle, position custom instructions is a pro move, like training wheels off. So now you write faster. The format, common problems, etc., etc. And then the third idea, the third tutorial idea, turn ChatGPT into your content sidekick. Hook, what if your AI assistant actually got your vibe? Okay, I like that, got your vibe. Format, walkthrough, filling in custom instructions, etc., etc. Want a script for one of these or mash a few together? So I feel like this was pretty spot on. Okay, the hyphen thing though is pretty sticky, yeah, isn't it? All right, let's try something else. This is my second set of instructions. These are for when I'm writing emails to clients or people who reach out to me via email for potential sponsorship or whatever. Okay, so when writing emails, and these instructions are the following. Okay, what do you do? I often write emails to clients, small business owners, nonprofit leaders, or creative teams. I want my tone to be friendly and professional without sounding robotic. Okay, so that's what I should put in the what do you do. Okay, so again, coming back here, customize ChatGPT, and I just need to override this with my new instructions. I'm gonna get rid of these ones as well. Coming back to my slide right here, by all means, steal these prompts if you feel they are relevant for you, well, these prompts or custom instructions. And then we have our second box with the traits that ChatGPT should have. Write emails that are clear, warm, and confident. Use plain English, keep it friendly but professional. Avoid jargon, fluff, or AI-sounding phrases. No hyphens. Use short paragraphs. If something needs bullet points, go for it. Always include a helpful closing line or a call to action. Make me sound like a real person who cares and communicates with purpose. Okay, so that's good. I have copied that. I'm going to paste it here. And then anything else should ChatGPT know about you? Yes, I really don't want any hyphens in my answers. Like, absolutely avoid hyphens in your outputs. I don't want to see any hyphens in there. Okay, I think this is clear. I'm going to save that. There you go. It's saved. I'm going to just refresh this page right here and go fetch my next prompt. Okay, so this one is about writing emails. So obviously the prompt needs to be about writing an email. So write a short email explaining ChatGPT's custom instructions to a curious client. Okay, running this prompt. Sure, here's a short, clear email you can send. I hope that there is no hyphen in there. All right, subject, a quick look at ChatGPT's custom instructions. Hi, client's name. You asked about how ChatGPT can adjust its responses, so I wanted to share a quick explanation. ChatGPT has a feature called custom instructions. It lets users tell the tool how they'd like it to respond. You can add details like what you want it to know about you or how you prefer it to communicate communicate. For example, you could ask it to be brief, use plain language, or sound more formal or casual. It's a simple way to get more useful and relevant answers based on your style and needs. Let me know if you'd like a quick walkthrough or want help setting it up. Best, my name. Didn't see any hyphen. Well done, Chatty. All right, so you can see here, it did the job of keeping that, semi-formal but direct, no fluff style when you write to a client, like when you write a professional email. I didn't feel this was too formal. So it's the right amount of formality, in my opinion. So I think it did a good job here, trying to pick up something more like avoid jargon, fluff, or AI sounding phrases, no hyphen. Yeah, use short paragraph. I think it did a pretty good job. So these custom instructions are a win if you want to use them for writing emails. All right, let's move on to the last use case I have prepared for you guys, the last set of instructions. This one is when I am creating my tutorials and courses, okay? I feel like the tone should be slightly different than when ChatGPT talks directly to me. When that's the case, I prefer it to be direct and act more like a coach or a brainstorming partner. And it should be different to when I'm communicating via email with clients and exterior people, right? This one is to communicate to my audience, to my students, both on YouTube and the different course platforms I am teaching on, okay? So I have come up with a specific set of instructions for that specific purpose. And it goes like this. What do? You run an online education business called Team Rondi. You teach tools like Canva, ChatGPT, AI image generators, and more, helping creators, freelancers, and small business owners turn their creativity into income. You make tutorials and courses on YouTube, Skillshare, and Udemy. Okay, so that's a high-level description of what I do with Team Rondi. So let's come back to ChatGPT. Again, profile picture, customize ChatGPT. What do? It should come here. Okay, and I'm gonna make sure I delete these as well. Nickname, let's call it Ron. Okay, perfect. And now I need the second part, okay, what ChatGPT should adopt as the tone. Help me create tutorials that are simple, clear, and fun to follow. Speak in a direct and conversational tone, like I'm talking to a smart friend. Use short sentences, no fluff, add a bit of humor when it fits. Always suggest structure, like an intro, key sections, and a wrap-up. Use bullet points or numbered lists when it helps learners follow along. Give concrete examples that match real use cases. Avoid any robotic tone. This content should feel like it's been made by a real person who knows what they are talking about. Okay, it's my content. I want it to sound like me. All right, so these are the instructions. And if you wonder, how did I come up with these instructions? Obviously, I use ChatGPT, and you know that because you see a hyphen. Okay, so let me copy that, come back here, and paste it here. All right, so that should do it. I'm gonna save that, start a new chat one last time. And for this one, I have this other prompt to test the instructions. Okay, help me create a quick tutorial script about custom instructions in ChatGPT. All right, so obviously I use the same example, the same use case, like creating content about custom instructions to show you the variety of tones it can adopt. All right, absolutely. Here's a quick and clear tutorial script about custom instruction in ChatGPT. Title, how to make ChatGPT work exactly the way you want. So an intro, hey, quick tip. Ever wish ChatGPT just got you right away? You don't have to keep repeating yourself. Let's talk about custom instructions, your shortcut to a smarter, more personal ChatGPT. And then we have the different sections of the actual tutorial. What are custom instructions? How to set them up. Section 3, real life use cases. And then the wrap up, custom instructions equals less repeating, more doing. Set it once and ChatGPT becomes your creative sidekick. All right, so I'm pretty happy about this. Do we spot any hyphens in there? Don't see any, obviously there is one there, but I think it's just kind of like a virus spreading in OpenAI's kind of systems. They do want a giveaway, right? They did try the digital watermark to see if people were using AI, but now this is the new digital watermark that will give you away if you are using ChatGPT to create your content. Anyways, guys, this was my tutorial about custom instructions. I highly encourage you to at least choose one set of instructions, apply them, save them into ChatGPT, and don't hesitate to come back to it and revisit them like we've done for different use cases, because you sometimes need to talk to different audiences or simply use ChatGPT for different projects. So custom instructions will help you really tailor every single responses so that it sounds less generic. All right, thank you for watching until the end. I'm going to leave you with this playlist of other tutorials about ChatGPT. We have a lot of good stuff in there. So yeah, keep watching.